So I went to Europe, covering an event and partly for fun, which mostly just means walking 20,000+ steps a day and calling it a vacation. And I brought this, the Peak Design outdoor backpack. This one's the 45-liter. And spoiler alert, I didn't hike a mountain or sleep under the stars. I used it how 90% of us would actually use in outdoor gear. Wandering through cities, climbing a sketchy tower for a good view, and buying way too much chocolate. Okay, that was a joke. Outdoor people, don't kill me. It's not worth your time. But I figured this doesn't really have to be just an outdoor backpack, especially with how sleek this looks now. I know there's a lot more straps compared to the other bags that they make, but honestly, this has been very functional in terms of how I use it for work and for fun. So I'm 6'1", 160 pounds, and this is how the bag looks on me. It's essentially 35-liter, although on paper it says 34.5 whenever you have everything cinched down. But with the roll top, it actually expands all the way to 45 liters for people who has commitment issues and like to overpack. And honestly, it actually doesn't look ridiculously big, which is more than I can say for a lot of the camera bags that just feels like you're strapped a microwave to your bag. So let's start with the pros first, and we'll begin with comfort, because this is the most comfortable backpack that I've ever used from Peak Design. And trust me, I have tried way too many. It's like an unhealthy relationship, really. Now there's this fit video from Peak Design that kind of like teaches you how to dial in the comfort of your bag. And basically, after watching the video, I'm like between like maybe large or extra large, just the top notch over here with the straps or the second notch. So I started with the extra large, which is all the way up here, until I realized after a couple of days that I don't really have enough more like straps here to adjust the placement in order to kind of like relieve my shoulders. Even though it felt comfortable at first, but it's just not ideal long term. So I switched the shoulder strap down a notch to the second level here, and it was just way comfortable. It's much more balanced and easier on my back. So if you're thinking about getting this bag, or maybe you have this bag already, definitely check out that video for a fit check in order to dial in the best comfort. And you want to make sure that there's something inside your bag so it's weighted. And this way you can actually feel how it feels like on your back. There are 2 sternum straps on this bag, and I often find myself using just one, and that's plenty enough for comfort. Do keep in mind that it does take a few times for you to break in the loop on the shoulder strap here in order to attach the sternum strap. Now the bag itself is actually quite lightweight, and everything inside the bag can actually come out. Like everything. You can flatten the bag when everything is out. So it's super versatile on what you want to pack in there. So if you're packing camera gear like I do, you'll need a camera cube from Peak Design, or maybe it'll work with other brands as well. But keep in mind that camera cube is the only way to protect your camera gear. So make sure it's those well padded ones. Basically what I did was have all of the gear inside this one bag and then just bring it on the plane with me. So I didn't have any carry on, and surprisingly enough, this bag actually fits under the airplane seats. It's definitely doable, but not recommended if you want maximum comfort on your flight. So I basically walked all day with the bag, like up the towers, through the alleyways, and also through like those cobblestones that I swear it's designed to break your knees. And yes, even the tiny spiral staircases through towers for those gorgeous views. This bag handled it all because it's actually slim enough to go through those tight spots without knocking over a tourist. And on top of that, like the waist belt, like the one on Peak Design, it's hidden to the bag if you want to, and then you can like just pull it out whenever you need them. And to my surprise, these one, like there's like a curve to the belt, so it doesn't really sag after wearing it for a long time, unlike the one on Shimoda that I used to use. And the hip belt is just like, check this out, this hip belt is much larger and it's not attached. Like, these are comfortable, but they do sag a little bit like after wearing it for a really long time. And there are like 2 pockets with the Peak Design bag on the hip belt. So I usually carry like spare batteries inside one of the pockets, and like a little tiny tripod from the DJI Pocket 3 in another pocket whenever I need like a quick stationary shot. Now if you don't want hip belts, that's fine too. You can also detach the hip belt from the main backpack to, you know, loosen up more weight. You have also got 4 pockets on the side of the bag. And like I mentioned earlier before, the bag is quite slim, so whenever you add more stuff on the side of the pocket, yes, they do come out. It obviously depends on how big of the things you put in there. But in my experience, it's never like way too big or way too wide, to the point where I feel uncomfortable knocking everyone over with my bag. Now, 2 of the pockets are deep, like you can fit a tripod in there. Deep enough to the point where when you had the bag on you, there's pretty much no way you can access those 2 pockets. However, there's 2 more shorter pockets on the side. Those are a little bit easier to access to depending on what you have in there, in my opinion. And all 4 pockets are mesh, so you don't have to worry about them getting wet because they'll dry out faster than your DMs. The outer material is easy to wipe clean. However, I have like a couple scratches on here already that I don't think I'll be able to fix those. And to me, that's fine. It's like battle scars. I don't mind it at all. But do keep that in mind. If you get like deep scratches on those, like it's not coming off. And there are loops everywhere around the bag for you to attach your gadgets. Now, inside of the bag is pretty much just one huge compartment. It's fully customizable with Peak Design's camera cubes or like packing cubes and all those like EDC pouches they have. It's like Lego for people who takes gear organization too seriously. But honestly, to my surprise, I actually quite enjoyed using it. Now, this bag is not perfect, and I say that with love. If you check out the shoulder strap here, you can easily attach like a Peak Design capture clip. Well, this one's not from Peak Design, but don't tell them that. To the straps, like outer layer, so it doesn't dig inside your shoulder. However, there's also like a pocket that you can use on the side. Whenever you attach your capture clip, the pocket's pretty much unusable. And there's like 2 sides, so I have the clip on the second row of the pocket, so I can still access the top pocket. But if you have it on top over here, like this pocket's done. You nailed it. Now you do have the other side of the pocket that you can use, and the same thing here. Like if you have the capture on the right side here, or maybe you have 2 on each side, which means you're just not gonna have access to either pocket. So yes, you have options, and you can pick and choose, or just don't use them both. Another gripe I have on this bag is that it doesn't stand on its own. Like I have tried everything. Small cubes, jackets, box of chocolates. It still flops like a fish, just like on the floor. And I guess in a way I kind of learned how to live with it. So yeah, it's whatever now. Also, the bag also doesn't have like a lot of EDC pocket for you to organize your small gadgets and stuff like that, and there's no dedicated AirTag pouch. So essentially what I did is just throw the AirTag inside like my camera cube. Now because there's no separate compartment inside the bag, essentially what you have on top of your bag might actually fall into the camera cube itself. Or if you have like packing cubes, it's gonna go down to the side of it. This sounds like a huge problem at first, but in practice, I actually just started organizing things better. There's a small EDC pouch on top of the 45-liter version. That's where I keep like small items and things that I want to access to. But the fastest way to access to things, I would say, is 2 outer pockets. And if I want to throw things on top of the bag, it's usually like a Fujifilm camera or sometimes the DJI Pocket 3 if I don't have enough space down there. And most of the time it's just my jacket or more chocolate. Speaking of which, I feel like the kangaroo pouch is great for jackets or impulse purchases from European markets. It's another place where you want to keep things if you want to have like quick, easy access to. But be warned, the pouch does stick into the front 2 pockets. By the way, there's no rain cover included with the bag. Yes, it's sold separately. I think it's like $30 from Peak Design. I know. And I actually got caught in the rain once. However, everything survived. But if you're going somewhere really wet, maybe consider getting one. And I guess one of my biggest gripe on this bag is that there's no luggage pass-through. I know it's wild in 2025, but I did find a janky workaround using the straps that it provided. Basically, you have to attach the strap on one side of the loop and then pull it all the way to the other side of the loop to lock in. I know it requires some finesse and a bit of patience, which Peak Design just assumed that we all have. But it is an option, just not convenient. And there's no bottom handle either of the bag, considering it's a quite chunky bag, and especially opens from the back side of the backpack, so I would assume it's easier to carry it with both hands with the bottom handle. But using the same workaround for the luggage pass-through actually also works if you attach the straps to the loops on both ends of the end of the bottom of the bag. But honestly, at the end, I just kind of gave up and adapt character development, I guess. That was a lot of cons and lots of compromises. Ooh, one last thing. The pull tab on the back of the compartment actually broke during a shoot. It might have been user error because I was in a hurry and trying to open up my camera bag. But still, I never expected that would be the first thing to go. But the silver lining, I actually ended in Prague after the shoot. And guess what? Peak Design just happened to open a new store at Prague. By the way, shout out to Annie. She fixed it on the spot because of lifetime warranty. So yes, the pull tab broke, but it also reminded me that customer service can be a love language.